Libra, welcome to your weekly sidereal forecast for July 27th through August 2nd. My name is Athen. So we have a simple week in the astrology. We have a full moon in Capricorn, which is your fourth house of home, family, past roots. And then we have one major aspect during the week, which is Jupiter squaring up to Saturn, involving your 10th and your first house. So let's go ahead and look at this. We'll break it down one by one. With these major things. But before we do, let's look at the previous weekend because it was important. We had a lot of shifts and changes. Two more planets, Uranus and Venus, went retrograde, joining the mix of retrograde planets right now in the sky, lots of them. So there's a lot of this introverted, reflective energy right now and redoing kind of energy, but not so much on the day-to-day level, which is the fast movers, but kind of like the subconscious, unconscious, behind the scenes kind of things are going through a reflection. One has been a lot of reflection of involving now, hopefully, your work and routine, so you can have more freedom there in your daily environment. Some good things to consider as we come into this week, as well as anything you're reflecting on just in general. Your ruler is retrograde now, so you guys are going to be in this reflective period for the next couple months. And in the 11th house in particular, now reflecting on groups, your ideals, your visions, giving, contributing, income from work, things like that will be very important considerations. And with that Uranus squaring up to Mars, hopefully last weekend was revolutionary for you in the sense that you decided you're going to make some changes or you're going to do something, renew your life in some way. And if you've done that, then that's a good way to come into this week, Monday and Tuesday in particular, where you can set the foundations for the rest of the week. This might be involving that 9th house, so things that you've been wanting to change and renew, involving your expansion, your adventure, travel, philosophy, spirituality, wisdom, religion, things like that, has been this sort of pull from Uranus to get you to maybe make some changes there and renew that part of your life. So Mars does also rule your 2nd house of finances and resources, so maybe it is involving that, as well as your 7th house of relationships. So whatever that was that weekend, continuing to move forward with that Monday and Tuesday will be important. Then on Wednesday, Jupiter squares up to Saturn within that 1-degree orb, and this will be spanning all week going into next week. Very long transit because they're slow-moving planets. So here, Jupiter has been transiting your 10th house of work, career, and everything on that public level. So those opportunities there can certainly be solidified this week, and that's the best way to work with this. Jupiter is the expansion and possibilities in our life, while Saturn is making those possibilities into a reality. And especially in the square energy, it becomes very constructive, very long-lasting and building. So Jupiter is leaving that 10th house. So this week and a little bit into next week as well, any other things you've been thinking about, expanding on and creating involving that 10th house will be a good time to do that. But it's still the overall energy. We're going to have the sun there for the next few weeks. You're going to have a new moon here in your 10th house coming up in a couple weeks. So still lots there, but especially with that Jupiter expansion, thinking back to the past year, this is a good time this week to put in that discipline, progressive, responsible energy of Saturn to make sure that there are some, changes done here so you can, have a good solid foundation in that career level, as well as with yourself in general too, though. Saturn did recently go back into your 1st house, so maybe you guys are assuming some more responsibilities again, or feeling more of that, grounded energy, which is good, which is Saturn in the 1st to, pursue those things, your intentions and things that are important to you. So whatever that's been since last month, him going back in here this week, he's going to go station direct Saturday and Sunday. So continuing to put in that hard work and discipline, just embody that Saturn approach to things is going to be very important this whole month in August, actually, while he remains in that 1st house of yours. Then he will go back into your 2nd of finances and things like that. But for right now, it's certainly a little bit more to do with how you can gain more energy, put in that hard work so you can gain that prana, get that passion, that intention, and that assertive energy, which is so important, especially right now, involving your 10th house of career, public life, and legacy. So we can look at the rulers of these planets to get a little bit more indication of this. Jupiter does rule your 3rd and your 6th house. So here, I think putting in any hard work with your communications and routine, I think will be important this week, and vice versa. Anything that you're thinking about expanding on with home, family, or your self-expression, I think will be a good week to do that also. Venus rules that Libra. She's transiting the 11th, like I was saying. So all this reflection you're doing about giving, contributing, friends and stuff will be facilitating this energy, as well as the sun ruling that Leo of Jupiter, who recently last week went into your 10th. So you do have this passion, you do have this awareness, this visibility, especially during the full moon. It will really be illuminating that 10th house of yours. So the awareness is there, the passion, at least the intention is there. I'll just put it that way. And this is, the Sun and Mars like to be at the top of the chart. So your guys' energy should be quite high, all things, comparatively speaking. And so here with that, putting in that energy with 10th house, getting out there, hard work, big picture stuff, career, etc., is very, it's something that's always very important to you emotionally anyways. So I think all this reflection that we're all sort of doing with the Sun in Cancer can certainly facilitate that as well. So all of that is the work week, and then that full moon is on Friday, which is as we approach Friday, the energies will be building and building again in that 4th house. So a culmination point now over the past 6 months. Anything new you started involving home, family, setting roots, foundations, your past, things like that can come to a head for those of you who've been putting energy there in that 4th house since then. But over the past 2 weeks even, anything new you started about adventure, travel, or career since that new moon 2 weeks ago can also culminate at this time as well. One thing too is that it always creates an awareness, so at the very least you're seeing the 4th house very clearly, or you're very aware of it, as well as that career stuff. So it's a good time to reflect, but then put in that energy with 4th house this later part of the week, and I think you'll find that very, very fruitful. So a good time for that. And in general, it's always about balance. So here it's the classic example of balancing the domestic life down here with this culmination awareness time, as well as that, that life with your career, public life. It's the classical example of career and home. Balancing those two areas will be very important, I think, but looks like it can certainly be illuminating nonetheless. So that's Friday. Then Saturday and Sunday, Saturn does go station direct. So a lot of this reflective energy about self-image, perhaps, that has been going on for you since last month, now starting to move forward going into next week, which is very nice to put forward a lot of these intentions of that 1st house of yours. And then Mercury does trine up to Uranus here Saturday and Sunday as well. So there is excitement here to be brought into the mix involving the 10th house, career stuff. So it's all coming from this perhaps reflection about how you can have more freedom in the day-to-day work, routine, health, diet stuff, which is, like I said, a good thing to reflect on, because by weekend, that stuff will be certainly supporting that 10th house for you. All right, Libra, so have a nice week. If you guys have any questions, please do let me know. Thanks again for all of your support, and I'll see you all next time.